ScienceDialogue.com.
Dear students, in this section I am going to discuss one of the important topic in climatology, air masses. What's an air mass? The air mass is the large volume of air having homogeneity in its characteristics. That means the volume of air or the bulk of air or thick layers of air having uniformity in its temperature and moisture content, it is termed as an air mass. We can go through the definitions. So many definitions are came for defining air masses. One of the important definition that is given by Barry and Chorley in the year 1968. The air mass may be defined as a large body of air or large mass of air whose physical properties are especially temperature, moisture content and lapse rate. Lapse rate means temperature difference are more or less uniform horizontally for 100 kilometers is termed as an air mass. Another important definition is given by A.N. Stoller and A.H. Stoller in the year 1978. A body of air in which the upward gradients of temperature and moisture are fairly uniform over a large area is known as an air mass, according to A.N. Stoller and A.H. Stoller. So, this air mass, this concept that is developed by V. Birkens and J. Birknes, they were Norwegian scientists and they gave the idea of air mass and they gave the name air mass first. During the World War First, they studied about the large climatic circulations. At the time, they identified some mass of air having homogeneity in its characteristics and they gave the name air masses to that large body of air. So the concept was given by V. Birknes and his son J. Birknes. They were Norwegian scientists. And the important term associated with air mass is source region. What is a source region? The source region is that the air mass origin from a particular region. That region is termed as source region. Simply, the region from which an air mass is origin, that is known as source region. And this source region gives the characteristics of homogeneity to the air masses. The extensive area over which an air mass originates are called a source region. A source region, I already told that the source region is giving its property to air mass. For example, if an air is lying in a particular area, it may be land or a ocean region, and this area give the properties. If this area is having homogeneity, it can give same temperature and moisture property. It can give that property to the source region. For example, the air is lying in the polar region. The polar region, we know that it's a cold area and temperature, availability of temperature is less there. So the air lying there for a long period of time, it gets the cold climate, cold nature or less temperature characteristics to that air mass. An ideal source region has some conditions. An ideal source region has some characteristics. The first and most important characteristic is there must be homogeneous surface. The air mass is lying in a homogeneous surface, then the air mass is getting its uniformity. And the second condition needed for a source region is there should be divergence of air. The air is diverging from an area. It can help to retain the property of source region to an air mass. So the divergence of air is an ideal condition for the formation of air masses. Then large scale subsidence of air. Another condition required for the formation of air mass is subsidence of air. The wind is subsiding there, it's creating a high pressure to that region. It is an ideal condition for the source region. For example, equatorial region, subsidence is there, wind is subsiding there. Then polar region. These are some of the regions for the, so it acts as the source region for air mass. And atmospheric condition should be stable. Stable condition is needed. Stable condition help to, for example, light wind. The stable condition help to attain the property of source region to air masses. These are the ideal source region. These are the properties of an ideal source region. There must be homogeneity. Homogeneity is very important. There should be divergence of air. So equatorial region, polar region, there should be divergence. But in the middle latitude region, there is a convergence of air from pole to equatorial region to polar region, mid latitude region. So the mid latitude region is not suitable for the formation of air masses. Then large scale subsidence of air and atmospheric conditions should be stable. Stable condition is very much needed for the formation of air mass. Then major source regions of Earth. Major source regions include, which are the major source regions? We can go through the major source region. There are 6 major source regions identified on the earth. The first is polar oceanic areas, and the second is tropical oceanic areas. Then third is polar continental areas, tropical continental areas, then equatorial regions, and the sixth is monsoon land of Southeast Asia. The first is polar oceanic area, the oceanic area near the pole, that include North Atlantic Ocean, Eurasia, North America, Arctic regions, etc. Then tropical oceanic area, that is anticyclones area of tropical region, the polar continental area and Arctic region, that includes snow-covered regions of Eurasia and North America, the tropical continental area, that include North Africa, Sahara, Asia, Mississippi Valley, then equatorial regions, that is the zone located between the convergence of trade winds, northeast and southeast trade wind. Then the sixth one is monsoon land of Southeast Asia. These are some of the source regions seen in the Earth's surface. Polar oceanic, polar continental, tropical oceanic, tropical continental, then equatorial region and monsoon land. Polar region, the extreme climatic regions, the cold region is Arctic region. The air mass and climate. This is very, very important in the exam point of view. In UPSC exams, it is asking how the air masses is affecting the macroclimatic region, macroclimate or microclimate. So, air mass and climate, what the significance of air mass on climate change or climate? We can discuss. The first is the air mass can affect in the micro and microclimate. I already told what is the effect. The microclimate means the local weather condition. Macroclimate means the globally how the air masses can affect. In both the cases, air mass have a significant role. What is it? The air mass play a major role in the transfer of energy. When the air mass is moving from its source region to another region, they can transfer the energy through its movements. For example, if warm air mass is moving to another region, it can rise the temperature. Or cold air mass is coming from another region, it can lower the temperature. So an air mass modifies the temperature and the moisture condition of area visited by us. And the another most important thing is all the weather phenomena, some of the important weather disturbances are occurring when two contrasting air masses are converging. For example, contrasting means different densities, different properties, warm and cold air mass. They have different properties. Then they are meeting. It's an ideal condition for occurring some of the disturbance. For example, cyclones and anticyclones. These are occurring in frontal regions. Fronts means the meeting place of two contrasting air masses. Then another significance is when warm air mass and cold air mass come in contact, frontal precipitation occur. When frontal regions, the cyclones are origin, I already mentioned, along with that precipitation, frontal precipitations or rainfall, heavy rainfall is also occur. So it can change the microclimatic regions. Then when warm air mass moves over cold air mass, if enough moisture is present, it may cause thunderstorms. Another weather disturbance. The weather disturbance, thunderstorm, lightning and thunder occur when the warm air mass move over the cold air mass. That is, cold front is there, so it can create thunderstorm. Then another significance or another effect of air mass is polar front region. Polar front region means the mid latitude region, that is above 60 degree. It's a meeting place of polar air masses or easterlies and westerlies. Westerly means and easterly means air mass from the polar region and air coming from the equatorial region. So meeting place is known as polar front region. This polar front region is the source of cyclones also. Another significance is in this region the air is rising. So the rising air can increase the pollutants. They carrying the pollutants also. These pollutants are coming to the stratosphere. Stratosphere, we know that the stratosphere is associated with ozone layer. The ozone layer is presented there. So the pollutants are coming to the stratosphere, ozone layer, and it goes to the depletion of ozone. When the ozone is depleting, what is happening? The ozone is depleting, the UV rays, it's a protective layer from UV rays, UV ultraviolet radiation. The ultraviolet radiation is coming to the Earth's surface and it can affect the albedo of Earth. The albedo means the heat, the reflecting heat of the Earth. It can affect this. Then the next is polar vortex moving towards south in winter. Polar vortex means the cold circumbelt seen in the polar region. The cold wavy air seen in the polar region. It can, in winter season, it move towards the south along with the pressure belt, and this polar air mass can cause cold waves in Canada and Siberia. It's also a microclimatic effect of air mass. Then another effect is during summer season, summer season, the warm air mass lying in the equatorial region can shift northward along with the pressure belt. Then it can create high temperature over the areas, and it create drought and forest fires, etc. When forest fires happening, then the amount of carbon dioxide also increases in the atmosphere. The carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, so it can absorb more heat. So it leads to global warming and greenhouse effect and global warming, and also leads to climatic change. Then another one is when dry air mass is present in a region for a long time, it can create desertification. The air masses can give precipitation. In other side, if dry air mass is overlying an area for a long time, it can create desertification due to aridity, high aridity. So an example is Sahel regions of Africa. It's a good example for desertification due to dry air mass. These are some of the significance of air mass in macroclimate and microclimate. So these are regarding air masses. Air mass, the source region, the ideal source region, characteristics of ideal source region, then what's the significance of air mass on climate. Thank you.
We are getting.
Next monsoon season is East Asian monsoon season.
It actually contributes to the well-being of the society.
So, what do you mean by the word physiography? Physiography means how the first.
What is the definition of classification? See, classification is simply
DNA means deoxyribonucleic acids and RNA is ribonucleic acid. After the evaporation, the parcel of moist air that becomes
വർത്തമാനകാല ക്രിയ എടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി ആ ലകാരത്തിലുള്ള